Sir, may I pretend to be your wife? Ethan Rook froze mid-stride in the crowded concourse. The alien girl's voice sliced through the hum of announcements and foot traffic, her wide, iridescent eyes locked onto his. 4 slender fingers clamped his sleeve like a vice. He glanced down. Blue skin shimmered under the harsh port lights. Delicate ridges traced her brow and cheeks, Veyron markings. He pegged instantly. Rare off their core worlds. Please, she hissed. Claim me now. In front of the cams, Ethan's gaze flicked up. Security drones hovered overhead, red lenses sweeping the throng. A public wife claim? That was spacer slang for a hasty bond doc, enforceable across a dozen systems. Insane. Her grip tightened. They're coming. He scanned the concourse. 2 figures in crisp envoy gray pushed through the crowd. House badges gleamed on their chests. Kale's outfit. Enforcers for the noble houses. They zeroed in on her. Ethan didn't think twice. He yanked her wrist and bolted for the nearest service corridor. Her lighter frame stumbled but kept pace. Service access, he muttered. Stay close. They ducked into the dim tunnel. Pipes hissed steam. Recycling fans whirred overhead. No cams here. She spun on him, breathing hard. You didn't claim me, on camera. First rule, Ethan said. Flat. No rash moves without intel. Who are you running from? Lissa Vera. She straightened, chin high despite the fear in her eyes. House Kale wants me wed to their heir. Contract signed at birth. I'm property until I void it. Ethan leaned against the bulkhead. Practical spacer rule. Fix the leak before it floods the deck. Second rule. Truth only. No lies between us. They'll scan for that. Her ridges flushed deeper blue. Truth. I'm betrothed to a drone who breeds credits, not families. I stowed away here to break it. He nodded once. Humans cut deals fast. Adapt or die in the void. Third rule. We end this when you're clear. No extensions. Lysa searched his face. You accept? Just like that? Long enough to get you off camera. Ethan pulled his ident chip from his jacket. Ethan Rook. Drifter. No ties. Play it real now. She stepped closer. Her scent hit him. Spice and ozone. Sharp as a plasma burn. Husband, she whispered. Testing. Her hand slipped into his. Warm. Softer than expected. A chime pierced the corridor. Ethan's wrist implant buzzed. Incoming hail. He tapped it. Hollow projected. Prefect Sarn. Port Authority. The alien's frilled neck pulsed red, irritated. Rook. Human ident 47. Alpha. 9. Present your spouse for verification. Concourse cams logged the claim. Ethan kept his face blank. Lysa pressed against his side, fingers interlacing tight. Logged already? He said. Efficient. Sarn's image sharpened. Veyron Customs demand it. House Envoy Kale flags her as contracted asset. Release her or face impound. Spacer's nightmare. Ship seized. Freedom gone. Ethan glanced at Lysa. Her eyes pleaded. Trust flickered there. Raw. She's mine, he said. Active voice, no doubt. Bond doc filed under interstellar transient clause. Check the queue. Saren's frills flared. Humans. Always exceptions. He keyed a panel. Seconds ticked. Verified, but Kale's envoy approaches. Dock your claim formally, or forfeit. The holo winked out. Lysa exhaled. You did it. Not yet. Ethan tugged her deeper into the corridor. We need a fixer. Know the docks? Miri Quill, she said quick. She brokers loopholes, led. They emerged into a side bay. Cargo drones beeped past. Lysa pointed to a grimy stall. Quill's fixes. Permits, pledges, problem solved. Miri Quill lounged behind the counter, tentacles braiding data slates. Her multifaceted eyes swiveled to them. Vera. Miri clicked. And a human pet? Bold. Fixer, Lysa said. Make this marriage stick. Off the books. Ethan slid credits across. Transient bond. Bulletproof against house claims. Miri's tentacles snatched the chips. Scanned them. Kael's close. Prefect bought you time. But Envoy's Marshal team scans biometrics. Your human's print seals it. Primitive, unforgeable. She extruded a dock pad. Sign here. Veyron law twists around spousal refuge. Human custom baffles their code. Ethan pressed his thumb. Lysa followed, her ridges brushing his skin. Warmth lingered. "Done," Neary said. "Flash this at the gate." But Kale plays dirty. Legal tricks. Footsteps echoed. Ethan spun. House envoy Kale himself strode in, polished scales gleaming. 2 marshals flanked him, stun prods humming. "Vera," Kale purred. "Asset return. Null claim." Slica shrank back. Ethan stepped forward, dock pad out. "She's Rook's," Miri interjected. "Filed. Check it." Kale's eyes narrowed on Ethan. "Human. Your species meddles. This bond voids under noble priority." Ethan met his gaze. Spacers stared down storms. "Priority? Interstellar Code says spousal claim trumps contracts. Article 19B. Kale blinked. "You know our law. Drift enough ports, you pick it up." Ethan held the pad steady. Humans memorized regs. Survival edge. A marshal scanned it. Beeped green. Kale's scales dulled. "Prefect will contest. Let him." Ethan took Lysa's arm. Gentle, firm. "We walk." They pushed past. Lysa's hand trembled in his, but she matched his stride. Outside, the concourse buzzed. Drones whirred overhead. "They're not done," she whispered. "Won't be." Ethan scanned for tails. "Clear. Your ship." Impounded. "Kale's doing." "Mine then." "Blackbird. Birth 17. She halted. Stared up. "Why help?" "Strangers don't." Stranded drifter code. He shrugged. "Humans fixed problems." "Simple. You?" "Bet everything on blunt honesty." Her fingers squeezed. "Yours." Heat climbed his neck. Spacer life. Solitary. This felt right. Alarms blared. "Attention. House Kale override. All ports lock down Vera asset." Ethan cursed. Grabbed her hand. Ran. They dodged carts. Vaulted crates. Birth 17 loomed. Blackbirds ramped down. Prefect Sarn blocked it. Flanked by marshals. "Rook. Present her." Lisa tensed. Ethan stopped. Calm. Docs filed. Override needs counsel off. Sarn's frills quivered. Kyle claims fraud. No fraud. Ethan pulled Lysa forward. "Ask her." Sarn eyed her. "Vera, confirm bond?" She lifted her chin. "Ridge is steady now." "Ethan Rook is my husband." "By choice." Arn paused. "Aliens prized contracts. Humans consent." The gap showed. "Verified." Sarn grunted. "Proceed." But KO appeals. Ramp hissed shut behind them. Blackbird thrummed to life. Lysa slumped against the bulkhead. "You stared them down. Like it's nothing. Practice." Ethan punched chords. Engines roared. She crossed to him. Close. 3 rules. Truth. Her scent filled the cabin. Extend them? Her hand on his chest. Pulse raced under his palm. Ethan grinned. "First real one today. New rule. We build from here." Her ridges flushed. Lips brushed his. Tentative, electric, trust sealed. Not fake anymore. But the comm crackled. "Rook. Rook." Prefect Sarn's voice sliced through the cabin hum. "Blackbird. Provisional claim accepted under emergency shelter statutes." Then flagged potential fraud. Birth doors locked. "Return to registry kiosk now." Ethan's hand froze on the throttle. Blackbird groaned as he eased power. Lysa gripped his arm. Her ridges paled. "Fraud," she whispered. "We told the truth." "System doesn't care." Ethan punched the comm. "Sarn. Claims legit. Wife's with me. We're clear." "Negative. House Kale override pending. Exit ship. Proceed to kiosk or marshal's board." Engines whined down. Ethan stood, grabbed his jacket. Lysa followed close, hand in his. Ramp hissed open. Berth 17 sealed tight. Massive doors clamped shut like jaws. Prefect Sarn waited outside, frills rigid. 2 marshals flanked him. Stun batons ready. Lysa tensed against Ethan's side. "Move," Sarn barked. "Kiosk." Now, Ethan marched her forward. Lysa matched his stride. Chin high. They wove through the crowded docks, crates stacked high, loaders cursing the lockdown. Spacer instincts kicked in. Scan exits, note weak points, none open. Registry kiosk loomed at Berth Central, a glowing terminal under harsh lights. Sarn shoved ahead, Refile provisional. Full details, or forfeit. Ethan pulled Lysa to the panel. Screen flickered alive. He tapped emergency shelter statutes. Human spacer code, buried in interstellar law. Quick hack from spacer runs. Claim domestic bond. Invoke protection. Fingers flew. Ethan Rook. Human. Lysa Vera. Spouse. Bond witnessed. Dockside. Emergency claim. Lysa leaned in. Her scent, spice and ozone cut the stale air. Add this. Fleeing house contract. Asset recovery illegal without consent. Screen beeped. Accepted. Then red flagged. Potential fraud detected. Old for verification. Doors stayed locked. Crowd murmured. Sarn's frills flared. See? Human trick. Vera, state your contract. Lysa straightened. Voice steady, sharp. House Vera noble pact. Me to Lord Terran Voss, third son House Voss. Terms, dowry transfer, heir production within cycle, enforced by blood debt clause. I refuse. No meeting, no bond. Saren's eyes narrowed. Refusal breaches pact. Your property until claimed. Property? Ethan stepped forward. Lysa, behind him safe. She's a person. Spacer law. Consent. Overrides. Demand hearing, no handover. Saren hesitated. Aliens prized contracts like chains. Humans? Cut them with choice. Hearing? Kyle decides that. Footsteps echoed, polished boots. House Envoy Kale strode up. Tall, scaled, envoy robes crisp, flanked by 2 enforcers in house black, smile thin as a blade. Rook. Kale's voice purred. Bold claim. Human drifter weds noble asset? Verify. Ethan met his gaze. No flinch. Verified. She chose. Lysa squeezed Ethan's hand. Ridges flushing faint blue. Trust signal, he'd learned dockside. Kale tapped his wrist pad. Screen synced to kiosk. Provisional accepted. Fraud flag holds. Same-day verification interview. Central Hall, 1 hour. Sarn grunted. Escort them. Marshals closed in. Ethan kept Lysa close. They marched through docks. Eyes on them now. Whispers rippled. Human snagged a Vera. Kale's furious. Central Hall buzzed. Vaulted ceilings. Hollow screens scrolling laws. Benches ringed a raised dais. Kyle took center. Sarn beside him. Lysa and Ethan pushed forward. Sit, Kale ordered. Ethan guided Lysa down. Her leg brushed his. Pulse steady under his thumb on her wrist. Kale activated projector. Noble contract scrolled. Dense script glowing seals. Lysa Vera. Bound to Lord Voss. Dowry, 3 system freighters. Penalty for breach. Asset seizure. Lysa leaned forward. Seizure? I'm no freighter. Legally. Equivalent. Kale's eyes flicked to Ethan. Drifter. Prove bond. Witnesses. Ceremony? Spacer life flashed. No frills. No priests. Just need. Dockside claim. Sarn witnessed. She confirmed. Sarn shifted. Verbal. No registry scan. Kale smirked. Fraud. Human convenience marriage. Invalid. Ethan's jaw tightened. Lysa tensed. He stood. Scan now. Biomarkers. Human-alien match. Kale paused. Aliens avoided cross-matches. Cultural taboo. Humans. Improvised. Unorthodox. But, proceed. Techs swarmed. Scanner hummed over their hands. Lysa laced fingers with Ethan's. Warmth spread. Screen beeped. Bond markers elevated. Provisional valid. Crowd gasped. Lysa's ridges deepened blue. Trust deepening. Kale's scales rippled irritation. Elevated, not conclusive. Cultural exchange clause needs intent proof. Intent. Ethan pulled Lysa up. Close. Her breath hitched. This. Goals. Firm. Public. Not tentative like cabin. Claim sealed. Lips parted, her taste electric. Alien spice igniting. All hushed. Lysa melted in, hands on his chest. Real now. They broke. Her eyes locked. Gratitude. Heat. Kale cleared throat. Theatrics. Interview continues. Private chamber. Marshals herded them to side room. Door sealed. Miri Quill waited inside. Dockside fixer. Ethan's contact. Grin sly. Told you. Miri whispered. Loophole sold cheap. Ethan nodded. She'd tipped the statutes earlier, for credits. Kyle entered. Final challenge. Veyra. Recant. Rook. Release claim. Lysa stepped forward. Ethan at her back. No. Ethan's my shield. Blunt honesty. Human way. Better than contracts. Kale's polished mask cracked. House loses face. Voss furious. Face your problem. Ethan crossed arms. Hearing outcome. Kyle checked pad. Verification passes. Fraud dismissed. But House appeals tribunal. Off port. Doors unlocked. Relief hit. Lysa sagged into Ethan. Miri slipped him a data chip. Escape vector. Kale's blind spots. They exited hall. Doc's alive again. Blackbird waited. Ramp open. But Kale's voice boomed over speakers. Rook. Veyra. Tribunal summons issued. Port hold extended. Ethan grabbed Lysa's hand. Ran. She matched pace. Laughter bubbled. Your way. Build trust. Engines roared true this time. Stars beckoned. Calm crackled anew. Blackbird. House Kale pursuit vector active. Lord Voss inbound. Let him chase. Lysa nestled close. Bond forged in fire. Real as thrust. Blackbird jumped. Port shrank behind, but sensors pinged. Second ship. Faster. Voss colors. They're gaining, Lysa said. Ethan adjusted course. Human improv kicked in. Hold tight. Spacer tricks. He dove into asteroid lane. Tight weave. Voss ship balked. Alien nav too rigid. Lysa watched. Awed. You see paths we miss. Practice. His hand found hers. Together? Ridges blew. Together. Proximity alarm blared. Voss closing. Ethan fired decoy burst. Voss veered. Clear. Cabin quieted. Lysa traced his jaw. Back there. Kiss. Not fake. Never was. Ethan pulled her in. Heat built. Trust weaponized. Love next. Sensors cleared. Jump primed. One ping lingered. Miri's voice. Favors repaid. Fly safe, hubby. Ethan chuckled. Lysa smiled. They jumped. New stars. New life. A deep scan whispered. Tracker aboard. Hook set. Ethan slammed the stall door shut behind them. Lysa's ridges flushed violet under the flickering neon. Vendor drones whirred overhead, scanning for counterfeits. Basic kit, Ethan said to the Miri lookalike broker. Veil, tunic, boots, her size. The broker eyed Lysa. Zorath cut. House colors off. You fleeing? Spacer business. Ethan slid extra credits. Quiet. Broker nodded, grabbed synth fabric from racks. Lysa fidgeted, antennae twitching at the crowd's stares. Ethan pulled her close. Human trick. Act bored. She mimicked his slouch, bundle handed over. They slipped into alley shadows. Back at the rented berth, cramped pod off grid 9, Ethan tossed clothes on the bunk. Blackbird's scan still pinged that tracker, buried deep in the engine cowling. Later fix. Change, he said. Checkpoint cams hate flash. Lysa stripped efficient. Scales gleamed under berth lights. Ethan averted eyes. Practical, not gawking. Tunic draped loose. Veil settled over ridges. Like this. He adjusted hem. Looser. Blend. Now habits. At cams. Lean on me. Wife vibe. No eye contact with guards. She practiced. Arm looped his. Step synced. Cameras read micro-expressions. Our scan heat too. Human cover. Yawn. He demoed. Exaggerated. She copied. Giggled, bubbled. Drill time, Lysa said. Sat cross-legged on bunk. Pulled honor pad from pouch. Hollow forms flickered. Interviewers test bonds. Fail. Contract reactivates. Ethan sat opposite. Berth smelled of recycled air and her faint spice. Hit me. First. Household signal for guests arrive. He blanked. She prompted. Ridge tap sequence. Left, right, left, hold. Fingers drummed table. Mimicked. She nodded. Good. Next. Honor form vow. Repeat. By Voss weave and star oath I bind. By Voss weave and star oath I bind. Clunky. Alien syllables twisted tongue. Lysa leaned in. Breath warm. Slower. Feel it. Guided his hand to pad, traced glyphs. Skin tingled, hours blurred. Forms drilled, signals memorized. Her patience chipped his frustration. Last, she said, private mark.
Mate show this. Pulled collar.
Exposed scale pattern, swirl under jaw. Ethan traced. Rough texture. Tattoo, ridge bond, yours? Eyes locked. He rolled sleeve. Spacer scar from hull breach. No pretty swirls, just proof I survive. She smiled, ridges softened blue. Enough. You learn fast. Birth comb buzzed. Scheduled meal synth expired. Ethan stood, routine now. Eat, calm, kicked mini fabricator, dumped protein packs, spacer rations. Human hack, mixed with water. Heated coil, stirred in salt tab. Porridge bubbled, simple, filling. Lysa watched, Antoni perked. You cook. Spacer staple, beets gel packs. Spooned bowls. Handed one, eat slow, builds trust. She tasted, eyes widened. Heat layers, humans layer flavors. Improv, he ate, steady rhythm, her tension eased. Spoon clinked, silence comfortable, first real pause since port chaos. Lysa set bowl down, ridges dimmed, contract clause, must tell. Ethan nodded, kept eating. Let her pace. Arranged to house boss asset. Penalty for breach, neural lock, enforcer's implant. Paralyzes on command. Worse, mind wipe edges. Turns brides to vessels. He froze mid-bite. Bowl clunked. Sell you back. Or worse. Kale's legal. Prefect Sarn signs off. No appeals. Eyes met. Hers pleaded. Vulnerable. Sharp girl cracked. Promise. She whispered. Hand gripped his. Scales cool. Won't hand me over. Even for bounty. Ethan covered her hand. Firm. Never. Problem solver. Not seller. Ridges brightened. Leaned forehead to his. Bond sparked. Interview tomorrow, she said. Pulled pad. Questions they ask. Exact. Listed. Crisp. How met. First vow words. Made mark location. Household signal for danger. Ethan repeated. Locked in. Then penalty for faking. Voice dropped. Public dissolution. But Voss clause. False claim means asset forfeiture. They take Blackbird. And you, indentur. 10 cycles labor. No appeal. Ethan's jaw set. Tracker pinged again. Faint. They're close. The verification room door sealed behind Ethan with a pneumatic hiss. Lysa gripped his arm tighter, her scales brushing his sleeve. Biometric scanners hummed to life overhead, bathing them in blue light. Prefect Sarn loomed at the console, his multifaceted eyes flicking between readouts. House Envoy Kale stood to the side, polished robes immaculate, a faint smile curling his thin lips. Claimants Rook and Vera, Sarn intoned. His voice buzzed like static. State your union for record. Biometrics cross-check now. Ethan squared his shoulders. Lysa nodded beside him. He spoke first. Ethan Rook, human spacer. Lysa Vera chose me as wife. Emergency claim filed dockside. Lysa echoed crisp. Lysa Vera, of Fringe Clan. I claim Ethan Rook as husband. Binding under port law. Scanners word. Needles pricked their thumbs in sync. Blood sync test. Holo displays flickered. Genetic markers. Pheromone traces. Neural consent waves. Sarn's claws tapped the console. Cross questions commence. Sarn said. Meeting coordinates. Dock 17, Bay C. Ethan replied. 2 cycles passed. Lysa matched. Dust storm inbound. Blackbird hatch. First vow exchange? Sarn pressed. Ethan recalled her pad notes. In chaos, we anchor. Her words, mine. No storm breaks us. Lysa affirmed. No storm breaks us. Echoed true. Kale stepped forward, his voice silk over steel. Mate mark location? Ethan glanced at Lysa. She tapped her inner wrist. Here. Human ink, her scale etch. Interwoven. Scanner zoomed. Light traced the fresh tattoo, his initials laced with her clan spiral. Lysa lifted her arm steady, freely marked. Post-claim. Sarn grunted approval. Readings synced green. Household signal for danger? 3 short chirps on comms, they said together. Lysa smiled faint. Ethan felt her pulse steady under his hand. Biometrics peaked, all lines aligned. Sarn's eyes narrowed. Preliminary match. Cultural consent test required. Envoy Kale? Kale's smile widened. He activated a hollow projector. A swirling mandala bloomed. Voss House sigil. Humans lack subtlety, he said. Your species coerces through presence alone. Prove her choice free. Lysa Vera. Renounce this claim. Whisper it. No one hears but the record. Lysa stiffened. Ethan caught the trap. The test fed on silence. Any pause read as pressure. Voss law twisted alien norms against humans. Bold claims equaled dominance. Her ridges flared orange stress. Ethan squeezed her hand once. Signal. Your lead. She exhaled. But Kale leaned in, eyes gleaming. The envoy smiled. Now prove she chose you. Without pressuring her, room tension spiked. Scanners pulsed red, monitoring her neural spikes. Sarn watched impassive. Lysa opened her mouth, but Ethan cut in smooth. Hold, Ethan said, voice level. Flip the test. Lysa on record. State your choice explicit. Full sentence. Eyes on the scan. Kale blinked. Irrelevant. Voss protocol. Port law overrides, Ethan shot back. Article 47. Claimant consent verbalized binds all parties. You accept her words as law or forfeit enforcement. Sarn's claws paused mid-tap. Human cites correctly. Proceed, Vera. Lysa straightened. Scales gleamed under lights. She faced the holomic dead-on. I, Lysa Vera, choose Ethan Rook as husband. Freely. No coercion. No Voss chain binds me. Record this binding. Scanners flipped green. Neural waves peaked voluntary. Pheromones matched peak trust. Kale's smile faltered. Insufficient. Kale snapped. Human proximity biases. Biometrics don't lie. Ethan pressed. Your test. Your rules. She spoke. You accept or prefect rules emergency claim valid. Lysa gripped his wrist. Her ridges shifted teal. Gratitude. Ethan kept eyes on Kale. No blink. Sarn cleared his throat circuits. Anomaly detected. Human adaptation noted. Proceedings pause. Private review of emergency claim. Rook. Vera. Segregated holds. 5 cycles. The door irised open to side chambers. Lysa shot Ethan a look. Worry edged hope. He nodded. Got this. Enforcers, 2 burly Voss guards, escorted her left. Ethan went right. His chamber. Stark, bench, water dispenser. Wall panel hummed. Observation one way. He sat. Mind raced. Private review meant Sarn digging Blackbird logs, claim timestamps. Kale would push Voss overrides. Miri Quill's favor loomed. Dockside fixer owed him from that fuel scam last port. Comms pinged. Encrypted channel. Miri's voice crackled. Heard you're in the grinder, Spacer. Sarn's reviewing. Kale's filing neural injunction. Loopholes? Ethan kept voice low. 2. 1. Your Blackbird's human registry. Extraterritorial. 2. Lysa's fringe clan opt-out clause buried in port code. I sell you access? Ethan tapped his wrist unit. Transfer whooshed. Done. Sending now. Line cut. Data packet bloomed on his implant. Scanned fast. Lysa's clan charter fringe worlds voided noble contracts post-signature. Blackbird log showed emergency docking. Claim filed pre-enforcer ping. Door hissed. Sarn entered alone. No Kale. Prefect's eyes whirred. Review findings. Ethan stood. Lay it out. Blackbird clean. Claim time-stamped valid. Vera's clan voids Voslien. Sarn's mandibles clicked, but Kale invokes cultural exception. Humans. Unpredictable. Consent test flipped. Unprecedented. Precedent now, Ethan said. Her choice binds. Sarn paced. Voss influence heavy. Port budget tied. Yield her. Walk free. Blackbird intact. Ethan crossed arms. Lysa's forehead lean flashed. Cool scales. Sparked bond. No. Problem solver. Not seller. Sarn halted. Human stubbornness. Noted in logs. He tapped console. Review extends. Kale returns with counter. Prepare. Door sealed. Ethan exhaled. Trust built in bowls. Vows. Flips. Lysa bet on his blunt. He bet on hers. Across the wall, he sensed her, steady. Comms buzzed again. Miri, Kale's pulling enforcer back up. Neural tech inbound. Your girl's ridges flashing distress. Move? Not yet. Ethan eyed the vent grate. Spacer tricks. Hours ticked. Lysa's chamber view flickered on his pad. Hacked via Miri. She paced. Ridges pulsing yellow. Tapped her wrist. Mate mark. His symbol glowed. Warmth hit. Not gel pack cold. Real. Alert blared. Kale's voice boomed hall-wide. Review reconvenes. Final consent arbitration. Ethan rose. Game on. Guards hauled him back to main room. Lysa waited. Chained light. Protocol. Her eyes met his. Steel. Kale stood central. Neural wand in claw. Voss sigil pulsed brighter. Test 2. Isolation response. Vera. Signal distress. Human. Ignores. Lysa yanked chain. No. My choice stands. Coerced. Kale purred. Witnessed. Ethan stepped forward. Guards tensed. Wrong. Spacer rule. Partners sync. Lysa chirped 3. She did. Short bursts. His comm caught it. He echoed back. Modulated hum. Scanners lit. Sync perfect. Sarn's eyes widened. Bond verified. Cultural exchange mutual. Kale snarled. Voss law. Port law prevails. Their claim holds. Release. Chains dropped. Lysa rushed Ethan. Forehead to his. Lysa pressed her forehead to Ethan's. Ridges hummed against his skin. Warm vibration, like a tuning fork in his bones. Guards shifted. Sarn cleared his throat. Claim verified, Sarn announced. But Voss House contests. Temporary cohabitation monitoring activates. Birth, 47C. 30 cycles. Scanners record all. Prove authenticity. Or contract reclaims. Kale's claws flexed. Neural logs will expose fraud. Ethan met Lysa's gaze. Her eyes held steady. Yellow ridges fading to calm blue. He nodded once. She pulled back. Lead on, Ethan said to the guards. They marched through the port's humming corridors. Neon strips flickered overhead. Lysa's chain scars glowed faint on her wrists. Earth 47C loomed. The cramped spacer pod. 2 bunks stacked over a galley nook. Single airlock, 1 viewport to the void. Miri waited inside, pad in hand. Fixed the vents.
Scanners blind in 5. Your call.
Later, Ethan murmured. Guards sealed the door. A red holocam blinked active above. Sarn's voice crackled over intercom. Rules. No exits without log. Cohabitation patterns analyzed. Bond must show. Sleep cycles. Proximity. Gestures. Fail. And enforcers enter. Lysa scanned the space. Her tail flicked. They watch everything. Ethan yanked the top bunk mattress down, folding it into a partition screen. Spacer knot secured at mid-room, privacy drape between bunks and galley. He scavenged crates from the cargo sling, stacking them into zones. His sleep alcove, hers, shared table. Zones, he said, etching a slate with a vibro pen. English on one side, Veyron script on the other. Pulled from her wrist scans earlier. Rule 1, knock before zones. Rule 2, food shared, no hoarding. Rule 3, signals only. No words if cams glitch. She traced the script. Ridges pulsed approval. Clear, practical. Miri slipped out via a service hatch. Rumors stirring. Kale's work. Watch your 6. Door hissed shut. Alone. Almost. Cam eye watched. Lysa unpacked her kit. A single satchel. She pulled a crystal vial, iridescent gel inside, bonding right to sell it. She dipped fingers, drew a spiral on her neck, turned to him. Your mark, forehead to ridge. Scanners read pheromones. Ethan paused. Crate half-stacked. No. Her hand froze. Why? Performance. Real or nothing. He tapped his chest. Fake consent breaks trust. We sync real, like the chirper, or it crumbles. Ridges flared orange. Surprise. She capped the vial. Humans refuse ritual for truth.
She stole it.
Agreed. Night cycle dropped. Lights dimmed to star glow. Ethan bunked low. Back to partition. Sleep evaded. Her breathing synced across the drape. Slow, even. Cam word faint. Morning chime buzzed. Lysa stirred first. Market run? Supplies low. Test surveillance. Ethan checked pad. Mary's hack feed. Kale's tails inbound. Rumors say stolen bride. Human thief. Port rats sniffing. Go anyway. She strapped on a cloak. Show unity. They hit the corridor. Market sprawled. Stalls hawking glowfruit. Plasma coils. Varen spice bundles. Aliens haggled in a dozen tongues. Lysa's ridges stayed neutral under hood. Two tails locked on. Scaled Voss agents, cloaks too stiff. One whispered into a comm. Ethan veered left, snagged a thermal wrap from a bin. Draped it over Lysa's shoulders. Camouflage weave. Cheap, but effective. Blend, he said low. She nodded, arm brushing his. Natural. Tails closed gap. Stall ahead. Miri hawking fake relics. Fresh catches. Human spice. Burns ridges right. Ethan bumped her cart deliberate. 2 packs. Credit chit. Mary palmed him a tracker beacon under the wrap. Tails at 10. Kale's planting more whispers. Contract breach. Bounty live. Coughed ridges pink. Kah! Ridges pink. Laughed sharp. Ethan steadied her elbow. Tails noted it. Logged on pads. Deeper in. Crowd thickened. Voss agent bumped Lysa. Claw graze. Testing. She stiffened. Ethan pivoted. Shoulder checked the agent into a fruit cart. Melons exploded. Chaos bloomed. Sorry, Ethan called. Human, casual, pulled Lysa through the scrum. They broke into a side alley. Tails scrambled behind. Up, Ethan said, boosted her to a maintenance ladder. Spacer grip hauled him after. Vent grate ahead, loose from Miri's prep. They dropped into ducts, crawling single file. Her ridges brushed his boot. Your worlds, ladders everywhere? Spacer life, climb or die. Ducts spat them into a service bay. Clear. They emerged near berth row, cloaks shed. Back inside 47C, partition up. Cam blinked oblivious. Lysa leaned on crate zone. You saw the graze. Sensed threat, instinct. Ethan unpacked spices. Humans read crowds. You read ridges. She sliced a glow fruit. Offered half. Juice dripped. Kyle escalates. Neural probes next. Mind scan for lies. Ethan chewed. Tart zing. Miri jams it. But we sell deeper. Her ridges softened blue. Trust hue. Deeper how? Sync reel. Chirp practice. He hummed low. 3 bursts. She echoed. Perfect match. Foreheads touched again. No gel. Just hum. Warmth spread. Cam word. Logged it. Cycles blurred. Ethan rigged a false vent alarm. Diverted maintenance drones. Lysa mapped scanner blind spots with ridge pulses. Veyron biosense. Shared meals. Her teaching knife flicks for fruit. Him showing 0G knots for gear. Night 5, cone buzzed. Miri, Kale's neural team hits tomorrow. Sarn reviews logs tonight. Patterns hold. Ethan glanced. Lysa slept across drape, ridges calm. His mark still glowed on her wrist. Hold, he said. Intercom crackled. Sarn's voice. Review phase 2. Public validation required. Market parade. Prove bond. Lysa woke. Eyes met Ethan's through partition gap. Wail again. Kale's trap snapped shut. Dawn hit. Guards banged the airlock. Ethan and Lysa stepped out, arms linked. Natural, not stiff. Market corridor pulsed with early traders. Hollow screens blared. Voss claim versus Spacer Union. Witness the bond. Crowd gathered. Whispers rippled. Human thief. Ridge fraud. Prefect Sarn hovered on a float platform. Scanner array gleaming. Kyle flanked him, neural wand charged. 2 new agents gripped Lysa's elbows. Light chains ready. Parade the route. Sarn boomed. Proximity sustained. Gestures authentic. Scanners judge. Ethan squeezed her hand. Chirp on my mark. They walked. Crowd pressed. Tails wove through. Comms live. A Voss heckler lobbed a rotten glowfruit. Splat on Ethan's back. Lysaea tensed. Ridges flashed yellow. Steady, Ethan murmured. Wiped it off. Flicked residue at the heckler. Laughter broke tension. Kale sneered. Coercion shows. Neural test now. Sarn raised claw. Route first. Halfway. Ambush. 3 Voss bruisers surged from a stall, stun rods crackling. Asset retrieval. Ethan shoved Lysa behind, dropped low, swept one's legs. Spacer tumble, human torque. Rod clattered, second swung. Ethan ducked, drove elbow into throat scales. Crack. Lysa chirped distress. Tree sharp. Crowd parted. Her tail whipped across the third bruiser's jaw. Scales cracked. He staggered back, stun rod sparking wild. Ethan lunged, grabbed the rod midair, twisted hard. Human grip outmatched scaled fingers. Bruiser howled. Rod flew into the crowd. "Stay down!" Ethan barked, pinned the first one with a knee. Spacer reflexes turned brawl into control. Lysa pressed against his back. Her ridges pulsed orange, fear edged with fire. Chirp echoed off holoscreens. Traders froze, tails stilled. Prefect Sarin's platform hummed forward. Scanner arrays word. Disruption noted. Boss interlopers detain. Security drones buzzed from vents. Blue stunners fired. Bruisers dropped twitching. Kale's face twisted, neural wand forgotten. Ethan rose, wiped blood from knuckles. Pulled Lysa forward, arm linked tight. "Keep walking," crowd murmured. Human broke 3 Voss. Ridges lit, no fear sent. They pressed on. Washed half the route left. Scanners beeped overhead, tracking proximity. Heartbeats synced on public feed. Lysa squeezed his hand, talons light. "You fought for me," promised, Ethan said, low, for her ears. Fake or not. Her tail brushed his leg, not stiff, coiled close. Kale shoved through drones. Fraud. That chirp. Distress code. Bond coerced. Sarin's claws clicked. Complete route. Scanners judge authenticity. Ethan scanned stalls. Glowfruit vendors, tail weavers, human drifters like him. Watching wary, another heckler yelled. "Thief claims ridge blood." Ethan ignored. Focused on Lysa. Her steps matched his. Natural now. End of route loomed. Arbitration circle glowed on concourse floor. Hollow ring pulsed. They stepped in, crowd encircled. Holoscreen zoomed. Bond-proof. Now. Sarin floated center. Gestures. Proximity. Neural sync. Validate. Or void. Ethan faced her, hands on shoulders. Felt ridges hum under palms. Warm. Alive. Lysa met his eyes. Signet ring gleamed on talon. Ethan Rook. "Spacer, witness my claim." She pressed it to his wrist. Nano ink bloomed. Matching band. Public ledger pinged. "House Vera endorses." Her voice rang, clear over comms. Kale snarled. "Impossible. Custody order supersedes." Lysa tapped Signet again. Hollow burst. Contract clauses scrolled. Red highlights flared. Forged addendum. Clause 17B. Voss insert. Invalid. Screens hijacked. Concourse displays lit. Kale fraud exposed. Crowd gasped. Tails thrashed. House betrayal. Sarin scanners locked on Kale. Portable order tampered. Drones detain. Drones swarmed. Locked Kale's arms. Review phase complete. Sarin boomed. Bond validated. Voss claim voided. Ethan exhaled. Lysa's ridges faded to blue. Calm. Trust. But cheers died fast. New ping on hollows. House envoy appeal. Override. Miri Quill slipped from crowd. Dockside fixer. Ears pierced with data chips. Slid Ethan a comtab. Spacer. Your play worked, but Kale's house lawyers inbound. Need loophole? Ethan pocketed it. Nodded. Always do. Lysa leaned in. Breath on his neck. We did it. Together. He turned. Forehead touched hers. Ridge to skin. Crowd hushed. Soft. Real. Drones hauled Kale away. Sarin's platform retreated. Parade dissolved. They ducked into side alley. Market hum faded. Lysa's hand stayed linked. Why? She asked. Voice soft. Stranger. Risked scales for me. Ethan shrugged. Leaned wall. Saw enforcers corner you. That order snapped like a trap. Couldn't walk. Flashback hit him. Hours ago. Crowd thick. Kale's agents flashed portable hollow order. Lysa backed against crate. Eyes wide. He'd stepped in. Port Statute 44. Prime. Emergency bond claim. Public circle now. Sarin arrived. Drones hovered. Lysa activated Signet. Fraud exposed. Kyle detained. Now here, bond, real on ledgers. You're blunt, Lissa said. Tail curled his ankle. Humans, fix fast, practical, Ethan grinned. You chirped distress. Saved my ass back there.
She flushed. Rich's thing.
Instinct, you protected, I signal. Trust sparked. Fake wife, real shield. Miri pinged calm. Hideout ready, credits for silence. Voss tails incoming. Ethan pulled Lissa. Move, they wove docks, spacer dens, air thick with fuel and spice. Lysa stumbled. Ehio caught great. Ethan caught her waist, held. Close. Heat. Her scent. Ozone and bloom. Sorry, she whispered. Don't.
Thumb-brushed ridge, soft scale.
Eyes locked. Longer than needed. Alley end. Miri's den. Door hissed open. In. Voss bruisers rerouted, for now. Inside. Crates stacked. Holos flickering contracts. Miri poured drinks. Glowing sap. Bond holds 48 hours, then house appeal. Need deep fake? Your spacer logs clean? Ethan sipped, burned good. Clean enough. Lysa? She nodded, sat close, thigh to thigh. Vera ledgers match. But Kale's polished. Tricks. Miri tapped pad. Loophole. Human spacer union. Rare invoke. Proves cross-species exigency. Parade proved it. Ethan felt her hand on knee. Steady. Night fell. Dens quieted. Lysa traced his band. This. Not fake now. Ethan covered her hand. Prove it tomorrow. This came natural. Lips to ridges. Tentative. Then deep. She pulled back. Eyes bright. Human fire. He chuckled. Ridge spark. Miri smirked from corner. Bond real. Credits double if you survive. Dawn pinged. New alert. House envoy fleet. Dockside. Ethan stood. Lysa rose with, arms linked. Ready? He asked. Together. Tail whipped. Playful. They stepped out. Enforcers waited, but Bond held. Kale's polished face on holodrone. Appeal granted. Surrender asset. Ethan cited statute again. Lysa chirped claim. Crowd gathered anew. Whispers. Human stands. Drones scanned. Sarn reappeared. Arbitration round 2. Cycle spun. Trust solidified. Bruisers lunged again. Ethan swept legs. Lysa whipped tail. Precise strike. Down. Sarin nodded. Sync peaks. Bond authentic. Kale's drone frizzed. Fraud logs public. Lease retreated. Lysa hugged Ethan. Full. You weaponized it. Us. Team. He kissed forehead. Miri collected credits. Next loophole free. Port hummed. Strangers no more. But Hollow pinged private. Voss Lord direct. Bounty tripled. Ethan grinned at Lysa. Round 3? Her ridges glowed. Always. They walked. Bond unbreakable. System bent. Ethan shoved the registry hall doors wide. Lysa's tail brushed his leg. Steady anchor amid the hum of data terminals. Miri Quill darted ahead, her fixer badge flashing. Sarn's waiting. Sign fast. Voss bounty triples if you dawdle. Ethan scanned the hall. Hollow screens flickered with contract feeds. Prefect Sarn loomed at the central dais. Mandibles clicking. Lysa tensed beside him, ridges pulsing faint blue. Human, Sarn rasped. Parade bond holds for now. Guardianship release. Sign it. She gains agency. Ethan nodded. He pulled the stylus from Sarn's claw. No hesitation. The form scrolled. Lysa Vera. Minor asset under house boss. Transferred to sponsor Ethan Rook. Full legal autonomy. No liens. Miri leaned in. My cut's ready. 10,000 credits. Hazard pay. Ethan scrawled his name. Decline it. He slid the pad back. She's not cargo. Lysa chirped. Sharp, relieved. Her hand squeezed his. Sarin stamped the seal. Release granted. Voss claim severed at source. Crowd murmurs rose. Dockers watched. That's settling on slates. Lysa stepped forward. Registry open. I reject House Voss match. Her voice cut clear. Translated ridges glowing. File residency under Rook sponsorship. Sarin screens word. Data pinged interstellar nets. Rejection logged. Public. Residency pending bond verification. Ethan felt her ridges brush his arm. Trust-locked in ink now. Kale's hollow flickered at the edge. Faint protest. Asset recall. Static cut it. Fraud logs sealed the gap. Miri grinned. Clean. Fleets grounded. Walk. They exited into dock hum. Lysa's tail looped his ankle. Playful claim. Ethan checked his wrist unit. Voss bounty alert blinked. Tripled. Hunters inbound. Ship, he said. Now. His freighter, Drifthawk, squatted at berth 17. Ramp hissed open. Ethan punched the seal. Lysaea followed, eyes wide at the cramped bridge. Home, his domain. Scuffed panels, nav charts pinned to bulkheads. No frills. Sit, he said. Pulled a co-pilot chair for her. Equal partner, not guest. She perched, tail curling around the post. Partner? Ethan tapped the plotter. Next route. Epsilon relay to Nova Prime. Cargo. Synth fab units. Pays 20K. You handle scans. I fly. Split 50-50. Her ridges flared green. Approval. Scans? My clan trains deep space arrays. He slid the slate over. Mark your shifts. Fuel stops. Risk zones. Lysa traced routes. Claws clicking efficient. Voss patrols here. Reroute via asteroid lane. Faster. Hidden. Ethan leaned in. Her scent, ozone crisp, filled the cabin. Smart. Log it. Plan drafted. Shared. No orders. Just sync. She set the slate down. Eyes locked his. Ethan, danger fades. Enforcers gone. Registry holds. He waited. Bounty ping silenced, for now. Do we still have to pretend? Her question hung. Ridges dimmed, vulnerable. Ethan stood, pulled her up. Hands on her shoulders. Firm, no. She blinked, tail stilled. Real courtship contract, he said. Clear terms. I court you. Dates. Talks. No rush on more. You say stop. We stop. Equal veto. Bond grows or ends clean. Spacer law. Mutual consent only. Lysa searched his face, then chirped, deep, resonant. Yes, her claws gripped his shirt. Human terms. Honest. I add. Teach me your fire. I teach ridges. He nodded. Draft it. Slate glowed. Words flowed. Courtship between Ethan Rook and Lysa Vera. Terms. Mutual respect. Shared risks. No fakes. They signed. Thumbs on pad. Seal hummed. She pressed close, lips to his jaw. Ridges warm. Prove now. Ethan cupped her face. Kiss landed soft, then fierce. Her tail wrapped his waist. Anchor. Alarm blared. Wrist unit. Hunter skiff. Inbound. Berth 17. Ethan broke away. Grabbed the yoke. Strap in. Lysa slid to co-pilot. Scans lit. 2 bogies. Armed. He throttled up. Drifthawk shuddered free. Docks receded. Route? He asked. Asteroid lane. My plan. Engines roared. They dove. Miri's ping chased. Bounty live. Loophole next. False flag registry. Double credits. Ethan smirked. Send cords. Lysa whipped tail. Excitement. Team. Skiffs pursued. Lasers grazed hull. Ethan banked hard. Lysa jammed their arrays. Precise chirps overriding signals. One skiff spun out. Second veered. Clear. Nova Prime loomed. Plan held. On bridge, quiet settled. Lysa traced his band. Real now. Fire burns, she whispered. He covered her hand.
Spark ignites.
Bounty board updated. Assets secured. Human sync unbreakable. Voss Lord's shadow lingered. But they flew together. Ethan plotted jump. Her head on his shoulder. Strangers? Gone. Partners? Forged. Round 3 waited. They accelerated. Port chatter filled comms as Drifthawk docked Nova Prime. Ethan killed thrust. Lysa unstrapped, ridges steady. Residency confirmed, she said. Your sponsorship holds cross-sector. He checked manifests. Cargo offloads clean. Payout incoming. Dock crew swarmed, human mostly. Stares hit Lysa, whispers, Ridgewife? Spacer legend. She ignored. Grabbed a crate. Muscles flexed under scales. Lifted easy. Ethan matched her. Stack port side. Work synced. No words needed. Miri's face popped on slate. Voss lawyers sniffing. Want a divorce clause? Decline, Ethan said. Forward proof it. Lysa chirped laugh. Human blunt. Evening shift ended. Cantina glow beckoned. Ethan led her in. Aliens parted. Human ale for him. Her nectar brew. Fizzy. Ridge approved. To terms, he toasted. Claws clinked glass. To fire. Talk flowed. Her world, clan webs, tail signs for secrets, is. Solo drifts, gut navs. You see chaos as path, she said. We ridges plan eternal. Plans break, he replied. Improv wins. She leaned close. Tail nudged knee. Court me here? Ethan signaled barkeep, private booth. Dim light, her hand on his. Pretend ended. Real starts. Kiss deepened. Ridges hummed against skin. Alert pinged soft. Voss envoy. Nova doc. Query bond. Ethan pulled back. Grinned. Round 4? Lysa glowed. Always. They rose, arms linked. Cantina watched. Human stood. Ridge sparked. System bent further. Freighter hummed outbound. Epsilon relay faded astern. Lysa manned scans. Clear vectors. Ethan adjusted course. Good eye. Shared cabin waited. Berths merged now. Terms allowed. She paused at hatch. Ethan. Bounty triples again. Voss Lord calls direct. Hollow flickered. Polished Voss face. Return asset. Or hunt eternal. Ethan killed it. Turned to her. Your call. Lysa stepped in. Door sealed. Stay. Build. Hands met. Trust sealed deeper. Engines purred. Stars streaked. No pretend. Just them. Weapon forged. Unbreakable.